Thursday, transmission install day, hopefully on the 2002 M5. I got the unicorn nipple. It was pictured as blue. It's brass, who cares? Nobody's gonna see it. Anyways, I just tapped that in, used a socket and an extension so you can swing the hammer out here. Started with rubber. It went most of the way in with rubber. I did need to give it a few good blows using a half drive socket and extension and then a metal hammer. And now it's home, so we're gonna put a little bit of copper grease on the end of this and then put our fork back in here in the clip. Here's our finished product ready to go on. So we've got a dab of grease on the opposite side right in here where it's going to rest against our new unicorn nipple. Another little piece, you can see it in there. That's where our clutch slave cylinder is going to go in. And then the flat spots at the top and bottom of the throwout bearing, and just a touch where it's going to meet these raised surfaces on the fork. Now to get it in the car. Also, I'm going to put a light coating right here. Sorry, right there. It's in. That's fun to do alone. Use the dowel pin. We took one of these old studs that we rounded, one of these old bolts that we slightly damaged, and cut the head off, and then cut a slot in it so we could use a flathead screwdriver, and that helps get it lined up. It pushed on fairly easily. Everything's torqued to spec. The wires are run correctly. We've got new hardware everywhere, new slave cylinder and hard line and soft line all the way to the chassis. I had to drill that out. That absolutely sucked. There's supposed to be a little welded nut on the back of that, and of course the bolt sheared in that, so I had to drill it out, put heat on it till it just snapped off the back. Starters over here, that's not pleasant, and neither are for right-hand drive cars. This would be your starter on this side, and then there's nuts on the back of that you've got to counter hold, that maybe we can see right in the middle there where it's not in focus. Yeah, that 15 or 16 millimeter nut. Anyways, it's all in, and everything that's here is torqued properly. I'm gonna put the car down now. I'm excited to feel the shifter. Okay, so I did lower the car back down to the ground after the last clip. I got a feel of the shifter. It's not night and day, though it feels really, really good. Now, I'm not, of course, as familiar with that transmission as I am, for example, my own, so I don't remember exactly how it felt before. But very little play, nice crisp but firm shifts. Makes sense. We've got a 545i shifter in there, so we have less mechanical advantage shifting. But it feels excellent. So I put the shifter up through the hole and pulled a little rubber boot around, put the sound deadening material back in there, plugged in the shift boot, put all that back together. On Monday, it's going to be drive shaft day. We'll get that together, the heat shields, and then maybe the exhaust with my dad out of town. And even if Kennan's not going to be here, so I'm going to have to wait till he gets back for that. There's no way you can do it as one person. Two people, maybe, absolutely not one. So that's what's happening next week. Plenty to do in the meantime. I've got other projects going on. If I can get the drive shaft in and then move that car out of the way, stuff like that. Anyways, tonight Larissa came up. We had dinner. We got Nutty Barrel on Grubhub. Played with Peanut, watched a Laker game, watched some YouTube stuff. And now it's bedtime. Tomorrow's going to be a really fun day. We have a resort pass here in San Diego. We're taking the day off, kind of kicking off the summer right. So it's going to be super fun. I'll film some of that. I'll talk to you on Friday. Good night.